What keeps you awake at night?
Well, sometimes, like everyone, I get a bit of sleep disruption. If I'm usually if I haven't done if I haven't done something and it's bothering me, I think I haven't really thought this one through. This and this and this and this. Or sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, particularly when I'm finishing a book, and I've got a download, and then I know I have to go off and write, and then bam, I can then go back to sleep.
Okay.
I sometimes, if I've done something, like occasionally, say I've had an argument with somebody and they're a friend, I'll go, nowadays I'll go, what was my part in this? Maybe I should, if I've got a guilty feeling, maybe I should apologize. Something like that. Those are the sorts of things. Or occasionally I have a stress dream. I used to get this recurring dream that I was back in the days of radio, still working in the radio station, and I've got one record in the studio. And so I've got to go to the record library and get some more. But as I get to the door, that record runs out, so I have to go back and play it again, and it goes on and on and on and on. So sometimes I had this nuttiest dream the other night. My wife said, I had a terrible stress dream the other night. And I said, well, what was it? She went, beheadings and air crashes. I said, I had one too. I was running a dating agency with Elvis Presley. Right? She's laughing. I said, it wasn't funny, right? Because we were in Blackpool in the 1970s, and we kept getting these Polaroids out. And I said, so I think these two would be suitable. And he goes, what are you talking about, boy? These balls ain't suitable. And he had all these thuggy guys going, are you making fun of the king? I went, no, I thought I was going to get beaten up. So some of my stress dreams are really bizarre and surreal.
Can we learn from those?
Well,
you must know people that
actually, there was, once upon a time, I was a friend of mine who's, he does all the Jungian analysis of the dreams. Right. And when I was decided I wanted to leave radio and become a hypnotist, it was I had a dream one night that I went into Capital Radio where I worked, and Adolf Hitler was there with a Capital Radio t-shirt on, and he was putting his records away. And I said, oh, hello, you must be Mr. Hitler, the new DJ. And he went, yes, I'm yes. Yeah, so I said, how's the show's going? He goes, the music is good, but he says, every time I open the phone lines, people go, bring up the war. Somebody threatened to kill me the other night, And I thought this dream was so nuts. So I said to my friend Hugh, what is it? He said, okay, think about it. You are thinking of changing career. You can think of Hitler in whatever way you think of it, he's a mesmeric character. Mm-hmm. And so, in simple terms, he said, I think your way of life as you know it is going to be killed off, and there'll be a new way of life. And that's what I think it means. So sometimes it kind of makes sense. So, some of my dreams are fairly bizarre, and then some of them are just as like everybody else's. There's absolutely no rhyme or reason. And occasionally I get one where I'm James Bond, so it's great.
That's cool. Are you Roger Moore, James Bond, or you're just you, James Bond? You're
me, but I'm Bond. But yes, Roger would be my favorite Bond. Yeah.
And what about Freud and Jung and psychotherapy? You're not a big fan of those guys.
Hate it. Yeah. Well, not so much Jung. No, but Freud, you see, I think he sent psychology down some bad paths. I mean, he made some contribution, there's no doubt, and that he's now referred to as an important historic figure because so many of his theories are bullshit. But he was taking enough cocaine to kill a small horse and faking his experiments and believe we all want to fuck our own mothers. Now, where I come from, that's called a pervert, right? So I don't have much time for it. And his idea that basically you sit and you just talk it all through all the time, and just get people to go over everything bad that's ever happened to them. That, in some cases, getting stuff off your chest can help. But if you just keep going back over the bad stuff, it's reinforcing it. it's like taking someone with a broken leg and throwing them down the stairs until they feel better. So I think that a lot of the Freudian ideas were very, and still are, very unhelpful. This whole pressure cooker idea of, we've got to get all the emotions out, darling. No, maybe not. Maybe we can just feel good without having to endlessly abreact for ages. So Jung, I think, was much more sensible, but really I'm of the for the sort of modern psychological thinking. I believe in the whole positive psychology, and I'm not particularly interested in institutional old-fashioned psychology because I didn't find it useful.